Good morning. We are officially 8 days out from show day, and this has been quite a long prep. So I'm just gonna consider myself in peak week since we have been depleting pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, 8 days out, I feel like dog shit today. I woke up at 7:30 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. I made my first meal and then I got back in bed and tried to sleep again, but still no luck. Anyway, bodybuilding is an extreme sport and it's definitely not a comfortable process to be getting this lean. So you just gotta embrace the suck, and I'm just gonna show you guys a day in my life during peak week. All right, we are off to the gym to do my first session of cardio today. We got 50 minutes on the board. This is probably the most cardio I'll do this entire prep, just because, you know, we're still depleting right into the show. I usually opt to do my cardio and workout separately just because, especially when cardio is this long, it's a little daunting of a task. So I just want to get it done right out of the way as soon as I wake up so I don't have to think about it. The entire prep I've done incline walking just because Stairmaster I typically don't recover as well as I do with incline walking, and it's really important to be able to recover and hit leg day hard, get the most bang for your buck there. I also don't mind incline walking just because I can use this time to message clients, do some editing and all of that. It really helps the time pass by. As I mentioned before, 50 minutes is the most that I'll probably do this entire prep. And again, it's just because we're really hitting things hard and depleting into peak week. And then after this, once we nail conditioning, we should be able to chill a little bit. So that will be good and dandy. So I just finished all my midday tasks after cardio. I took some meetings, did some check-ins, gave my clients some posing feedback, and then the next thing on the list is to go to the gym and get this lift done. Training hard on prep, especially when you're this close to show, can be pretty challenging. Obviously, like, you're very, very low energy and you don't feel the greatest. But that's why it's that much more important to push during this time, because that's how you're gonna retain the most muscle, which is definitely the goal. I worked very, very hard to grow this muscle over the past year and a half of bulking, so I definitely wanna do my best to keep it. My workouts haven't changed super drastically in comparison to off-season versus on-season. The main differences is there's a little less barbell compound movements, just because my recovery isn't the best right now, and those movements tend to be a bit more taxing. So for example, instead of barbell back squatting, I've switched to hack squatting and leg press. Instead of barbell shoulder press, I typically stick to dumbbells. Just little things like that here and there, but the overall structure of my training is very much the same. Usually the best split that grows your muscle is gonna be the best split to maintain that muscle. Of course, eating, sleep, hydration is a huge part of this as well, but so is the structure of your training. So let's go get this workout done so I can enjoy the rest of my day. Woo, all right. This is actually my last day taking pre-workout, sadly. We really have to dial in the ingredients that I'm putting into my body on peak week, so things become a lot stricter. This is the pre-workout combo I love to use. They're from PE Science. So we got the prolific and the high volume. And I just mix these two together. It gives me a great pump and I feel very energized around my workout. So cheers to my last pre-workout for a little bit. So I just did 1 scoop of each, mixed it up. Cheers, happy peak week. All right, so we made it to the gym and I'm just gonna walk you through a little bit of what I do for a warm up. Usually I start in this back corner, and for my anxious gym girlies, I know you know where I'm coming from. I like to kind of see the gym a little bit before I start my training session. The movement I just did was called a Russian baby maker. I like them to really just sit in the bottom position and open up those hips. Now I'm doing some twists for the spine, and I'll do each side a few times just till I'm feeling warm and a little bit more loose than when I first came in. I started laughing here because the guy who cleans the gym started vacuuming around my phone. Don't worry though, he's a homie and he's always super nice and makes my day a lot better when I talk to him. I think it's important to remember, especially in public gyms, that we're not entitled to the space, and it's good to be respectful and it's not that serious. And the last warm-up I did here was just a 90-90 hip opener. Try to keep your hips on the ground and push those knees down. All right, starting off the workout, I have 2 sets of 8 Smith machine hip thrusts. And I didn't just start off doing this weight, I did work up to it. I hit 1 plate for a set, 2 plates for a set, 3 plates for a set, and then this was my top set here. Some cues that I really like for this exercise is to keep gaze forward and chin tucked the whole time. Try to control the eccentric and get a full lockout. The second exercise I did was Smith machine reverse lunges from a deficit. I really like these to hit the lower part of the glute, especially after just destroying them in the shortened position on hip thrusts. The Smith machine also feels way more stable for this movement, and I really get a good pump here. This was 1 set of 8, and it was supposed to be to like 2 RIR or so. And then last exercise of the session is gonna be full range of motion tempo leg press. And you'll notice I do put my hip thrust pad below my low back around my lumbar spine area, and that just really helps me feel more stable and keep my hips from rolling under me between the reps when I am going through this really long range of motion. And then this was 2 sets of 10 to 12-ish reps. My tips for this is to play around with your stance. Try and put your feet at the lowest part of the platform where your ankles won't come up at the bottom. And then try and keep your hips in a good position. Control the tempo down, and you're gonna get a very juicy quad pump. After my workout, I like to pose for 15 to 20 minutes in my heels just to really get comfortable in the positions that we have to get into for the bikini division. So this is what I'm looking like for my first show about 8 days out. And I'm really excited to continue to dial in conditioning and just see how it goes. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate the support, and feel free to like and subscribe.